Welcome back to the A's and Badgers Let's Play of Godzilla on the NES. Today we're playing Pluto, which, curiously enough, has a bit larger map than Uranus. Huh. I always thought Pluto was the smaller planet. Anyway, the new monster for this field is Mechagodzilla. And he's kind of a beast, so hopefully we'll be able to stomp his ass. Mechagodzilla was, of course, always a fan favorite monster. I would definitely agree with that. He's one of my favorites, especially the Heisei and Showa era Mechagodzillas. The 2000, the Millennium series Mechagodzilla, not so much. Whoever handled the choreography of the Millennium series Mechagodzilla did a good job with him, though. It's interesting seeing seeing a Toho monster throw legitimate punches for once in the past like 10-15 years. Yeah, compliments to the suit actor. But the Showa Mechagodzilla was always my favorite. Well, not my favorite monster. That was probably Godzilla or Gigan. But of the three iterations, that was my favorite. Just because, I don't know, I like that clunky, like, tin can looking robot design. I also like that, at least in his second appearance in Terror of Mechagodzilla, his behavior actually was robotic. The Heisei Mechagodzilla also did that too. But I always thought that was kind of strange. In Mechagodzilla's first appearance in the series, he was very physical, actually. Like, in general, the monster choreography in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla was really spastic and violent in a lot of ways. A lot of violent hits and slamming into each other. But watching Mechagodzilla, a robot who in that movie was controlled via like a switchboard, watching him knife edge chop King Caesar to death was kind of strange. It just seemed a little out of place, But in Terror of Mechagodzilla, which of course was directed by Ishiro Honda, the progenitor of the Godzilla franchise, Mechagodzilla's behavior was that of like a missile platform. He really had no answer to any like physical attacks of Godzilla. That's why it was so impressive when they used all the stock footage from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla when Godzilla's spines catch fire. That was actually not supposed to happen, by the way. Anyway, during that, banzai charge that Godzilla does in that sequence, I always thought it was kind of neat where as soon as Godzilla gets close, as soon as he gets inside on Mechagodzilla is pretty much worthless. Like, he really doesn't have an answer to Godzilla's manhandling of him. Once Godzilla gets a hold of his tail or gets behind him or starts throwing punches, he just doesn't have an answer. And I thought that really worked. While I'm talking about, I should also mention that Titanosaurus was kind of a favorite of mine too. I mean, just because he was in one of my favorite movies in the series. Mainly, I liked him because he had a lot of character. I mean, his abilities were, of course, kind of lacking. I mean, being able to generate gusts of wind that make it difficult for Godzilla to just walk forward was kind of lame. But, watching him, whoever the suit actor was, I mean, I don't know, but watching him face off with Godzilla, like his hand positioning and the way he carried himself, it was almost like watching a pro wrestling match. He had a very theatrical quality to him that really worked. And he worked well in tandem with Mechagodzilla because, like I said in that movie, Mechagodzilla had no physical means of attacking outside of his missiles and laser beams and stuff. He was worthless, whereas Titanosaurus only had that to rely on. So it was like, together they equal one Godzilla, and it felt that way. Like, as soon as Mechagodzilla went down, it was kind of cool watching Titanosaurus just be like, oh shit, I don't have an answer for Godzilla. Like, I like how the black hole aliens, Mugaru, I always thought that the guy that played Mugaru, the evil black hole commander, I always thought he looked like my Uncle Ron, with his pimp shades. Anyway, I like how when Titanosaurus is set loose on the city by Dr. Mafune, and they change their plan where it's like, if Mafune is gonna send Titanosaurus out into the city, and Godzilla is already on his way, we should just let Titanosaurus get killed by Godzilla. I always thought that was kind of cool, where they assumed that Titanosaurus alone couldn't handle Godzilla. It was interesting to see two parties working together, where one party has a totally different concept of what their power can accomplish, kind of. Titanosaurus was cool. His roar, some people cite it as like very annoying. I've heard a lot of people say that about him, but personally I thought it was very unique and distinctive for sure. Because when it comes to Toho movie monsters' roars, they get recycled a lot. I mean, it goes without saying, really. Like, when I was watching Destroy All Monsters a few days ago, well, yesterday actually, I noticed that when Rodan first appears on screen, he actually has what will become Megaron's roar. It's brief, but it's like, remember when Ninja Turtles was on TV? Remember when inexplicably one of the turtles would just like switch voices with one of the other ones? Or like Raphael and Leonardo would just kind of inexplicably switch voices for like 2 seconds. Whoever the sound editor was, they must have been lazy. Or more likely it was just like one of the voice actors like called in sick or something and it's just like, yeah, fuck this. You guys can figure something out. I seem to remember shit like that maybe happening on Thundercats too. But anyway, it's besides the point. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Titanosaurus' roar worked for me because it fit his appearance really well, and his appearance was really good for the time, especially when they're cutting back budgets, and his suit design was actually very impressive, especially when they remembered to wet it down and make it appear like shiny, as if he was like, I don't know, more scaly as opposed to leathery. But his roar, I guess, could be considered a little annoying, but personally, I liked it. Also, there's one part in particular in the movie that my mom, I remember when I was little, she always thought was funny. Like, she'd laugh. It was when Titanosaurus is defeated or killed, Godzilla breathes fire on his chest, and he just like pauses for a second, and he's standing in front of this giant cliff, and he just stands there looking dumb for a second, like just like, ugh. And then he proceeds to just like fall straight backwards and flip off the edge of the cliff and into the ocean below. And then just watching him, you know, go through this really strangely robotic motion, my mom always thought that was funny. And being as I was a little kid, I thought it was funny. So, Terror of Mechagodzilla definitely, easily one of my like top 2 or 3 Godzilla movies of all time. Even if there's, you know, a fair amount of stock footage in it, doesn't bother me. Stock footage in Godzilla movies is just one of those things you have to accept. You know, it's just comes with the territory, I guess. Oh wow! I killed one of those fireball things. I didn't even know you could do that. Holy shit! Revelations at age 23.